Hello and welcome back to JustRP 2.0. So I did make a guide for 1.0, but I figured I would make a new starter guide updated for 2.0. So start off again, we're just loading in here right off the bat. Obviously, if you want to join the server, the link in the description. You just go over onto the forums and the Discord, make an account there, and then obviously submit a whitelist application. And then once you're accepted, you will get notified in the Discord when you are, and then the restart after you are accepted should actually put your whitelist into effect, and you should be able to join the server. Now, when you first join the server, you're going to obviously have to create a character. Now, we have a couple created already, but we'll be creating a new one for the purpose of this video, just to show you exactly, how to get started on the server. We'll be looking over kind of some of the starter jobs on the server as well, and kind of just, how you would start off. In this video, we are not going to be going over any of the hidden features or any of the criminal features for the most part, just because most of those you have to find out for yourself in character. But the majority of all the jobs we're going to be looking at in this video is stuff that you're just going to be able to either see on the map or get to very easily. So again, let's go over here, let's create a new character. Let's name him Billy Tommy. Not exactly the best name. We'll do American, and let's just give him a birth date. Doesn't matter too much. Let's do that. Boom. Let's do confirm. Then after you create your character, you should, we wait a second here, choose where you want to have your house now, or have your apartment. Now, for your starting apartment, the 250 per day is not per 24 hours, it's per in-game day. So every day, or every time it changes from night to day, or every full day cycle on the server that you are in, it will charge you that amount of money. So please keep that in mind when you get your apartment, or when you choose your starting apartment, is that this is $50 or $100 per in-game day. It is not per actual 24-hour day in real life. So just keep that in mind if you are going to be buying one, that it is going to be in-game day and not out of character day. But again, since we're just making our new one, we're going to go with the free studio apartment. So let's claim that real quick. And once you have claimed it, you will be brought here. Now, I just recommend not even doing really too much here. We're just going to kind of skip through this just to make it a little bit easier for ourselves, because there are some problems if you do mess up in those menus. So instead of just doing it all here, just because I know some people will mess up in these menus and have to kind of restart their game, we're just going to go about it as if those menus kind of didn't exist, because we're going to have to go through this anyways to show you how to change your character if you want to in the future. Now, again, you could make your character in your apartment once you choose it and you start off your new character, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to go to the clothing store and the barber shop, because I want to show you guys kind of how to do it as if you were brand new and you didn't want to make it in the apartments, or for some reason the apartments didn't work for you. So starting off, again, we spawn at the Alta Street apartments. Now there's a couple things we can do from here, because for the purpose of the video, I want to show you guys how to kind of change clothes as well as change your character's face without having to just do it off the bat. We're going to go head over to a clothing store, but what might help you out a little bit getting around town, at least being a new player, is going over to the rental spot and renting out a new vehicle. So quickly, we're going to run over there and rent out ourselves a little BMX bike or something just to get around. I believe you do start with around, how much? Around 5 grand in starting cash, so it's not horrible. You do at least start with something, but we're going to go head over to the rental spot, go grab a rental from over there, and that should help us get around town as a new player just a little bit more. Alrighty, so now that we are almost at the rental spot, I figured I'd mention a couple other things. If you guys want to see all of the controls for the server, it is in the Start Here guide on the Discord, but there are also some controls that aren't exactly listed there, and we'll go through those real quick. So if you hit the F3 menu, it brings up this. You have obviously your vehicle. You can give vehicle keys to other players, flip your vehicle if it has been flipped over, open up the vehicle control menu, as well as get in the trunk of a vehicle if you are able to. Also work, this is going to have nothing since we do not have a job, or we are not currently hired as a job. Next, if we go into civilian, you can go over here, give your contact details. This is very useful for adding contacts to your phone. If someone comes up to you and gives you their contact details, all you have to do is open up your phone, hit the phone button down here. It's suggested, and their contact will pop up there as well. It makes it a little bit easier with exchanging contact info for other players or with other players. And if we go back into the F3 menu to go through all of it, we go back into civilian. We of course have house and illegal, which again, we're not really going to go into house too much right now because it's pretty self-explanatory. You can just give keys. You can obviously decorate your house and everything like that. The request to train, you can go to any train station, request to train. I believe it takes about 30 seconds for the train to arrive, and then another minute for the train to set out, and then you can of course get out at any train stop that the train stops at. Hot dog sale we'll go into a little bit later. That's one of these starting jobs. And if we go over to illegal interaction, here you can find all of the illegal stuff, as well as how to put people in and out of vehicles, as well as to cuff if you do have handcuffs. You can also of course use the actual criminal stuff, such as escorting, kidnapping, stealing, and corner selling from this menu as well. And that's about it. Of course, we have animations done here where you can change your different moods, walk styles, and emotes. And then also the last thing for the menus for the F3 we're going to be talking about is the command binds. Here you can set different F keys or function keys to actually bind to a certain thing. One that is very useful is engine. So then when you get into a car, all you have to do is, for instance, hit F7 and it will toggle your engine off and on. It's a very useful command. I definitely recommend having that command on your saved binds. Now again, we go over back to where we are over at the little rental spot. We can go up to this guy, and by holding Alt you can bring up this little third eye icon, look over him, then you can let go of the third eye, hit left click, then of course rent a vehicle. And just because we're starting off, we don't want to waste too much money, you know, we're gonna go with a taxi just to be able to get around a little bit easier. So let's rent one of those out. Oh, we don't have enough cash on us, it seems. We have $200. So what we're gonna do is go back over here and show you guys how to use the bank. If we go inside this bank here, we can do the same thing, bring up our third eye, and if we look here in the bank, we can do boom, open bank. We'll put in our debit card, and banks are the only places where you can actually deposit money. You can withdraw at any ATM, but you can only deposit cash into your bank at the actual bank itself. Now let's go over here, let's just draw $200. That should help us out a little bit more. Make sure you click on the right account. So boom, let's withdraw 200 from it, and let's get out of here. And again, now that we have the proper amount of cash on us, we're able to go up to him again, bring up the third eye, rent vehicle, and boom, let's rent a taxi. And then it should give us a spawn taxi. We can just hit of course F to get into it, and then again we can use our little keybind F7 to toggle the engine off and on. Obviously a lot easier than having to go into the menus and actually do it from here. Definitely a very useful keybind to set up. Now again, the next part you're going to do as a new player, if you did not customize your character inside of the apartment, or for some reason you had a glitch and had to restart your game or something and weren't able to customize your character there, you come over to any of the different clothing stores and of course change your lookup. First, I think we're going to actually make our characters look before we change up our actual clothes, and to do that you're going to want to go to a barber shop. There are a lot of them on the map. We're just going to go to the one over here, go head over into the barber shop, change up our look a little bit, and of course head over to the clothing store and finalize our character. So let's go in here, and you're going to be able to customize pretty much all of the face of your character, its characteristics, and the actual character looking part here. And then of course the clothing is done at a clothing store. So what we're going to do here, go into the middle, hit E, and then boom, from here we're going to be able to customize how our character looks. Again, since this is just a test character, we're not going to spend too much time on it. So boom, we can go customize everything in here. Not exactly the best looking character, but you know, he's not looking too bad. He's not looking too bad. Now, since we have customized our face obviously and our hair, we're gonna head over to the clothing store and get some clothes on. So let's go head over back to that clothing store I previously mentioned and get changed real quick, get looking a little bit nicer, and I'll also show you guys how to use the menus over there as well. Alrighty, so we head over here again, back over to the clothing store, park up our car again, hit that F7 keybind so we can turn our car off, and then if we want to lock it to make sure no one can steal it, it is U on your keyboard. Boom, we lock our car, and let's head in to the clothing store. Now if we just walk anywhere pretty much in this vicinity, we're gonna be able to hit E to change our clothes up a little bit. So let's go, let's you know, we can also change our hair from here, which is pretty nice. Let's go change, let's get like a nice jacket on real quick. Boom, let's get some pants on, why not? Boom, and get some shoes as well, why not? And we should be pretty much good to go. Now also, if you have clipping, like if you see here how our arms are clipping through our shirt, what you're going to want to do is again go back into the clothing menu, scroll down until you see arms and gloves, and change it until you no longer see that. You can also put on gloves this way, of course, by switching through the different menus, but I definitely recommend switching up your arms and gloves if you are having issues like this here with your character's arms clipping through their jacket or shirt. So boom, let's fix that up. We can test it again by hitting B to point around, make sure everything's good, do a good old hands up. Boom, make sure nothing's clipping through, and we are all set. Also, you can see our shirt is clipping through a little bit as well. So we're going to go over to our undershirt, and if you change to 15, this is the best one if you're not going to have an actual undershirt, because it will make everything see-through, which is really nice. But we're going to find just a nice little t-shirt here. Make sure nothing's clipping through our jacket, and we should be good to go. Also, with the accessories, I recommend changing your accessories or your scarves and necklaces to 62, because if you have it on 0 for other players, you may have a chain on, but in your eyes you obviously won't. So I recommend changing scarves and necklaces over to 62 to make sure you don't have kind of a chain that other players can see but you can't. Now, another thing you can do in clothing stores or your apartment is save and edit your outfits. So what we're going to do is a good old /outfits, but this is going to bring up this menu. And here, if we click create new outfit, we're going to be able to create an outfit. Since this is our first outfit we've created, we're going to put in slot 1. We're just going to call it, let's say, main. Now, if we want to switch this outfit again, like say we mess up our clothes, we switch some of our jackets around, we switch our pants, we switch our undershirts, and we're just in kind of like a weird outfit that we don't want, we can again do /outfits, bring up the menu, select our main outfit, use, and it will switch us back to what outfit we saved with. It's definitely a very, very nice command, and nice to be able to save your outfits and change them out as you would like. And next, we're going to be doing a little bit of an overview of the different stores, what they do, and as well as the different restaurants. So starting off, you have your run-of-the-mill general stores, which are located on the map by these little store icons. We can go over to one of them, and we're able to purchase food, drinks, and I believe ingredients, as well as some other odds and ends. So if we go into here real quick, we of course have the usual ATMs. Again, to access these kind of ATMs, you just use your third eye, left click, and then click open ATM. Or alternatively, you can also do /ATM to bring it up as well. And as well with any / command, if you do /binds, you're able to open up the menu again that we saw earlier. And if we want to bind this to, let's say, ATM, we're able to do so. And then when we want to go to an ATM, we just hit our F9 bind. Boom, and it opens up the ATM. Definitely pretty useful. The binds menu is also very useful to set up a hands up command, since that's a pretty often used command. So let's set up an emote real quick. To set up one of these, in the command part you put E, and in the argument you put the emote that you want to use. For instance, in this we'll use hands up, since that's a common emote. Of course, if you're getting robbed or held up, you're going to be having to type hands up every time. To make it a little bit easier, we can make a little bind for that in our command bindings menu. Hit save binds, and if we hit F5, it will bring up our hands, of course. And if we want to cancel any animation, you can just hit X. So if we do E lean and we want to cancel it, again, we can just hit X to quick cancel it. Definitely a very useful command as well. Now again, if we go up to the shop, we can of course hit E to bring up the menu. It has quite a bunch of different items. These items are also restocked by people doing the trucking job, which is also very useful. You can buy an assortment of different things, of course, some different ingredients for the different restaurants, which we'll talk about a little bit later. We can buy some overpriced food, which again, if we want to buy food at decent prices that actually fill us up, we're going to want to go to a restaurant with player interaction, which again we'll check out in a little bit. But that's going to be about it for the general stores. Now, of course, there are some other stuff such as car washes, which I'll show you guys real quick how to use, where you can get your car cleaned. So if we go up to any of the different car washes located with this icon on the map, we're able to go into them, and then once we get, I believe, to the midpoint, we're able to hit E. Menu should pop up. Maybe it's here, somewhere in here. Maybe it's here. There we go, and we're able to get our car wash for $15. If we hit E, I mean, our car is not exactly dirty, so you might not really notice a difference. Let's see. Yeah, a little bit of a difference for sure. Be able to get your car washed. Now, there aren't really a ton of these stores that don't have really player interaction. Most of these stores, such as the different mechanic shops, again located on your map with the different icons. Again, one over here for Hayes Auto, I believe one for LSC, although LSC, as of this update, or as of this video, I believe has been moved up here to Harmony Repairs, which should be opened by the time this video is out. And then of course we have Night Kids are the 3 mechanic shops that you can go into, and there will be players there you can interact with to either get your car fixed, modified, or repaired, even though fixed and repaired is the same thing, but you know, good old rule of 3. There are also a couple mod shops that if there are not enough mechanics on duty, you're able to just go to and of course get your vehicle repaired if there aren't enough mechanics online to be able to do it themselves in person. And of course, to end our kind of general stores or an overview of the general stuff that you're able to do on your own, there's of course pillbox up here where you can go to, and if there are no medics online, check yourself in if you're either hurt or injured, and can of course heal yourself up that way. If there are medics, please definitely RP with them, because you know that's what the medics are there for. Now really the only other big shop that you will go to often that doesn't really have too much player interaction, or really any player interaction at all, where you interact with an NPC, is going to be the U-Tools on the map. Now there is one both located in town down here at the Mega Mall, and then there's one on Route 68 up here, and apparently, wait, is there a third one? Oh, I guess there is one all the way up in Sandy. I didn't even know about that one. We're gonna go head over to one of the U-Tools. I'll show you guys what items are at the U-Tool, and of course you're gonna have to figure out in character for yourselves what they are used for. Now there are also a couple stores that aren't so obvious, or they're not really located on the map, which again, we won't be talking about anything that isn't directly on the map or accessible for a new player off the bat, because I want to try and cut down on the meta as much as possible for places that aren't fairly obvious or super obvious to a new player. So again, if we head over to the Mega Mall, see there's some rich people with their cars here. Actually, two of the Neos are the same exact kind. Interesting. We can head up to the Mega Mall here, hit E again once we get into the middle. We'll bring up this shop, which again you can buy repair kits, diving gear, heavy duty drills, scales, a Fitbit that will also notify you when you're getting low on food and water, very useful, suitcases and briefcases which you can store items in, binoculars which of course work, fertilizer, which I guess you can try and guess what fertilizer is for, and then an assortment of different fireworks. That is going to be pretty much it for the stores. I believe next we're going to be talking about the starter jobs you can get on the server. So starting off, I guess we'll start off with one of the most obvious that I was telling you about earlier, the hot dog sales. So to start the hot dog sales, of course, again being pretty obvious with everything that's going to be in this video, all you have to do is go over to where it says, of course, Chihuahua hot dogs. So let's head over there, over to Legion Square, and we should be able to go over there, rent a card out, and then find a place to cook some hot dogs, and of course start selling them to locals. So let me show you guys how the hot dog job works real quick, and let's head over there. All right, so let's park our car real quick, again using that F7 keybind we said to turn off our engine. Let's lock our car again, hitting U on your keyboard, and head over to the front of Chihuahua hot dogs, where we should, a little police chase going on right now, where we should be able to start working. Boom, you pay a $250 deposit, then you should be able to grab your stall. Now these stalls are a little bit finicky, so I will give you some guys some tips. First off, let's go find a little bit of a more populated area. Now, if I were to actually be doing this on my own, I'd probably go to an area where there's a ton of locals. I'm guessing you guys can kind of guess for yourselves what areas that might be, or find them out for yourselves as well. What we're gonna go do, let's go get to a little spot where there are some locals around, so I can show you guys how this job works real quick. Now, doing this in Legion Square is probably not the best idea, as there aren't a ton of locals, but again, for the purposes of this video, I just wanted to show you exactly how you would go about doing it. So let's find a place to put down our hot dog stand. We'll do it here since there are some locals nearby already. So let's put it down. Again, you want the this portion facing away from wherever you're selling to. So for instance, let's put it down right here, with again the back portion facing the wall. What you're gonna do is just come up to here, then hit E, and you can start making hot dogs. So boom, let's make some hot dogs right off the bat real quick by using this little mini game. Which again you'll definitely will get used to over time. You can also level up your hot dog stand the more you do the job, which will allow you to hold more hot dogs in your stock, and is definitely useful to do if you are going to be sitting for long sessions or kind of building up a stock and then selling them. Now the way that I was told, or the way that I found out doing hot dogs the best, and to get them to not glitch, because it is again a little finicky, is to get a decent amount of hot dogs. Of course you probably want more than 2, and then find a spot, and you're going to want to hit again F3, go over to civilian, then at the bottom hot dog sale, and now locals should start coming to your hot dog stand. Now if you hit F8 and you see something about couldn't get locals, you unfortunately are scuffed, and you're going to want to just pick up the stall, move it a little bit, stop the job, and start it again. But now, since we have a local coming up to us, we can hit, of course, we can hit 7 to sell to them, or 8 to reject. Again, just because it's the purpose of this video, we're going to hit 7. We're going to sell them a hot dog, and then the local should walk away. And again, we can reimburse our stock by doing the mini game once again. Now, if you do the minigame perfectly, you get 8 hot dogs, but if you mess up, like say we hit the wrong key there, it goes red, and then we do the rest of it, we should be getting a B hot dog, which will sell for a little bit less. Let's see if a local will come by and try and buy it. Boom, I think he's going to buy an A hot dog just because it is selling for 11. Sell another one to him, and boom, we just sold our last A hot dog. Now, if you don't want to move your hot dog stand, it is a little finicky sometimes, so I recommend just kind of setting up in one spot and sticking to that spot. But if we do want to move our stand, all you have to do is hit F3, go back into civilian, hot dog sale, stop it, and then pick up your stall. Again, I recommend stopping before you move your stall, or else you might run into some issues. Again, move it somewhere else, let go of the stall, come back here, hit F3, civilian, and start again. We can check our F8, see if we got any errors. We did not, so that means we are all good to go, and locals should keep buying hot dogs for us. Let's see if this guy wants to buy one. Boom, let's sell our last hot dog, and I think we will call it here for the hot dog job. That's pretty much it. Again, I recommend finding a nice populated area, and then also once you're done, you can of course go back here, pick up your stall, and go return it to the store, which we will go do right now, and you should be able to get your deposit back. Alrighty, so now that we have returned over to the Chihuahua hot dogs, we can go over here and hit E to return our cart. So boom, boom, and we get our deposit back. Easy clap. And then of course we can get back into our taxi, where we're going to be showing you guys the next job being the garbage collector. So to be a garbage collector, first we have to go of course to town hall to sign up for the job. So let's head over to the city hall. We're able to go sign up for jobs, and let's head over there, and I'll meet you guys once we're over there. I believe from the town hall you're able to sign up for 3 different jobs that you have to of course sign up there first previously, then head to the job to be able to start it. So again, let's head over to the city hall and grab ourselves the garbage man job. Alrighty, so now that we're over at city hall, almost crashing into a local, we're gonna come over here, get out of our car. We're gonna leave it unlocked because we're, you know, feeling a little on the edge today. And let's head up these steps real quick to get into city hall. And once we're in, first of all, we can go over to the man right here, third eye on him, and we're able to open up the city hall. And from here, we're able to go over, see our identity, of course, grab a new ID or driver's license if we need to. And then of course what I talked about earlier is we can go over to the job section. We can either get hired as a taxi, garbage collector, or trucker. Again, I do want to show you guys the garbage collector, but I think it might be easy to start off with taxi, since of course we already have a taxi with us. So let's grab the taxi job, hit take job, boom, and from there we can get back into our taxi real quick. And once we get back into our taxi, we're now able to go either taxi people around, which they should be able to see us now in the services app under taxi. Boom, there we are, Billy Tommy. Or you're able to go around and pick up locals and drive them around. So first of all, we're going to show or hide the meter, pop up our little meter here. We're going to go back into work, hit NPC mission, and then we should get a little location. Thankfully it's right down the street. And if we head over here real quick, we should be able to pick up the local by just driving right up to them, and then I believe hitting E. They should come over, get into our car, and give us a location for where they want to go. And I believe you're paid, of course, if you see on the bottom right, you're paid by the distance that they want you to drive. So it can be really good if you do get rides from Pluto, but then of course you have the whole ride down from Pluto where you're not really making any money. But let's head over to this location and drop this local off real quick, just to show you guys how of course the job works. And once we head over here, we should get a little option in the air to boom, end our route, drop off a local, and now again we can keep going on if we want to and go over and back into our F3 and then request another NPC mission. But again, since we're just showing you guys the different jobs, see someone is in need of a taxi, open your dashboard to accept the call. What we would do in that situation is, again, of course, just hit F3, work, and then from here it would accept the call for us. But since again we are just showing you guys this for the video, we're going to go back over here, hide our meter, go back over to city hall, stop our job as the taxi man, start it as a garbage man, and then I'll show you guys how the garbage truck job works. So again, let's go back over to city hall, quit our job as a taxi man, and get one as a garbage collector. All right, and we're back. Also, hitting B while you are in a car will toggle on and off your seatbelt definitely recommend making sure your seatbelt is on in almost any circumstance. I recommend trying to get in the habit of getting into cars and immediately hitting your seatbelt. Definitely something useful you want to definitely make sure you're doing. So again, let's go back over here, open City Hall again, go back into jobs, and this time go over to garbage collector, and let's take that job real quick. Boom. Now we have the job as a garbage collector, and what we're going to want to do is head over to the actual garbage collector depot, which is located right, I believe, down here where the little garbage truck sign is. Garbage dump, I think it's supposed to say dump, not sure why it's a domo, but we're gonna go head over there and I'll show you guys how to start off the job. So again, we're gonna go back into our taxi, make sure again our seatbelt is on by hitting B on your keyboard, and then I'll meet you guys again once we're over at the garbage collector area. Now that we are at the garbage depot, we're gonna come up here. Let's just park our car. There should be, oh, it looks like no one else is doing the garbage job at the moment. Let's park our car up here. Boom, we're hitting our good old F7 keybind to again lock, or to again stop our car, and then of course locking it again by hitting U on the keyboard. We're gonna run over here and then go down to here and grab our garbage truck, and there is again another deposit of $250. What we're gonna want to do is it goes boom and start heading over to the different locations it gives you. For instance, our first one seems to be right here. Now I believe it is pretty much the same route every time, so if you do get used to it, you can get pretty fast at it. And let's go head over to our first one. I'll show you guys how it's done, and then we'll continue on from there. So now that we're over at our garbage bin, the strat is of course to go back this garbage truck back up to where the garbage should be. Get out of our truck real quick, almost get hit by a local. Start grabbing these bags and tossing them into the back of our dump truck. Boom, let's keep grabbing them, tossing them in, grabbing them, tossing them in, and then once we are done, it will give you the next location. Now for the purpose of this video, what you're going to want to do is of course do all the locations, then return your garbage truck, but that does take a little bit, so I guess I'm going to probably just skip through it all. It's going to take us around, I think, 20 to 30 minutes for a run. So again, if you guys have been enjoying this video and it does help you out, please leave a like, because this video is taking quite a little bit of time to make, because again, I'm having to go through, test out all the jobs, and of course go between the different ones. So again, if you guys have been enjoying this video, or you have been enjoying videos in the past, please leave a like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel, and especially since this video is going to take a decent amount of time to get done. But either way, I'm going to go complete the rest of this garbage run, and I will see you guys once we are done, and I'll show you guys then what to do once you are done with your garbage runs. So I'll see you guys in just a little bit. I'll show you, oh, actually there's a nice little free Fitbit in here. Also, you can access dumpsters by hitting E on them, or I guess accidentally sometimes when doing the job, but that gives us a nice little free Fitbit. Sometimes people dump stuff in there. Always good to check some dumpsters here and there. But again, I'm gonna go do the rest of this garbage run and catch up with you guys once we are finished. Alrighty, so we just finished our last run, so we're gonna go over up to here to the garbage spot where we got our truck. We're gonna drive back to the same location, do a quick little turn here, and let's return our garbage truck, and then okay, here we go, right into the little red arrow where we got it from. Boom, we should be able to return it. There we go, store garbage truck. We got our deposit back. Then if we go over here, we can claim our check, or our little amount of money that we got from that. So boom, let's grab our paycheck. We should get $830. Nice, you should get around 800, and then of course we get some materials as well, which is very, very nice. Now the next job that we are going to look at is going to be trucking. I've actually never done trucking myself, so it might be interesting to try out either way, and so you guys can see it. I'm pretty sure it's similar to garbage, where you go sign up for the job, of course, you go grab your truck, you go do a bunch of runs, and then at the end of it you are paid a certain amount. I guess I could show you guys it, but it's again pretty much the same as the garbage, so I don't know if I want to waste a bunch of time. But again, you go to City Hall, grab it, and then I believe you just come down here, grab your truck, and then I believe it's pretty much the same as how garbage works. Again, I think the trucking also might apply to Eddie's Camel Toes, which is another player run business, which again you have to talk to, of course, some of the people that work there. Which again, Eddie's tow truck is down here, and you can get signed up for, of course, the tow truck yard, and different things like that. Now, as we're talking about this, I want to talk a little bit about the different whitelisted jobs, or the different jobs you have to get hired for. Before doing so, I want to mention quickly the last couple of the jobs you don't need to be whitelisted for or hired for, such as fishing, which again, I don't want to kind of give away how to do fishing because there is some stuff that you do have to find out on your own. There is also scuba diving, which you can see on the map, which of course you just buy a scuba tank with at the U-tool that we saw earlier. And I believe that is pretty much it. I mean, you could have guessed you could include the scrapyard for car shopping, but I think it's a little bit more on the illegal side. And now we're going to be talking about the jobs that other players have to hire you for, and or you have to be whitelisted. So of course there is the usual, the DOJ, the lawyers, the judges, the police, of course, EMS, etc., etc. There's all of those usual whitelist jobs. But there are also other jobs that players can hire you for as either a manager or a worker. Starting off, we of course have the different food joints such as Burger Shot, Noodle Express, the taco shop, and the pizza place. Then, as I said earlier, there is obviously a couple other ones such as the Eddie's Tow Truck Company, the Recycling Center, and then as well as, of course, the Vanilla Unicorn. And then, of course, you have the different mechanic shops such as Night Kids, Harmony, and Hayes Autos. And that is pretty much it for all of these starter jobs, as well as some of the whitelist or the jobs that you have to be hired for. Now, just a quick tip: if you are hired for a job, which means you have been given a job role, if you go take another job such as fishing, garbage trucking, or taxing, where you have to sign up for the job, it will cancel your old role and the people will have to hire you back. Just a tip. Also, of course, there is a lot of illegal stuff to do, such as obviously banks, Polito, and a bunch of other stuff, which again I can't really mention because I don't want to mention stuff that you have to find out on your own. But there are a lot of hidden criminal activities to do, so be sure to try and figure those out, talk with other players, or go spend some time trying to figure them out on your own. Now, the next thing we're going to be talking about is the different kinds of entertainment or activities you can do around the city that don't really evolve as a job, but is more just for fun. Starting off, of course, we have the ever-present Vanilla Unicorn, which you know, is not really too much my cup of tea, but you know, if you kind of like that kind of stuff, they do events all the time, and they also have kind of impromptu stuff that they will just post to Twitter on, so be sure to always look out for those. Always some fun people, always some good people down there, although it's not exactly the best place that I usually go too much. There also is the Splitting Sides Comedy Club, which is located right over here. There's definitely, they do some comedy nights here. I know some people host like some improv nights where they kind of get to it's like more of like an improv school, and they do some really cool RP down here every week or so. So definitely be sure to check on Discord, the upcoming events channel. There's always a ton of events and people posting stuff in there, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. And everything in the upcoming events channel on the Discord is considered flyers in game and is okay to use in characterly, just so you guys know that as well. Of course, there is also the ever-present Tequila Law, which again most people know about. Just the usual Tequila Law thing. Sometimes people do stuff there, although not too often. There is also now the Bean Machine, which is a little coffee shop, which is pretty cool as well, to add on to some of the other food joints in town. There is also fight night events that people host every once in a while at the Fighting Ring, which again, let's go to real quick and show you guys that. And as we're going over to the Fighting Ring, I also wanted to mention PDM as I didn't earlier, because there is two different kinds of PDM. You have the luxury autos located over here, where you're able to buy an assortment of vehicles, you're able to finance vehicles, and kind of do a lot more than you can at the normal PDM. At the normal PDM that is located in the default PDM location, you are only able to purchase a certain cars. You're not able to finance cars, and also there's no player interaction. But luxury autos over here, or I guess it's renamed to Premium Deluxe, also has players that are car dealers, which again, if you want to, you can check on the phone, which we'll be going into the phone in just a little bit. But that is where all the actual people or the player car dealers are, where you're able to finance pretty much any car that is GTA Online or in regular GTA that is not crazy, bulletproof, or has weapons on it, or of course, you know, the ones that can fly and that kind of stuff. Anything that's realistic should pretty much be in luxury autos. Then of course, in the normal PDM, the small one that's in town, you're able to purchase other small vehicles such as starter cars and an assortment of small work vehicles, where you can't finance them, but you can buy them outright for pretty cheap. Now again, let's head over to the Fight Night event, or the Fight Night area, or the Fight Ring, I guess you would call it, and I'll show you guys that pretty quick. And now that we're over down here again, just south of where we were doing that garbage truck job earlier, we can pull on in, and there's some quite nice stuff to do. Of course, there's the actual fight arena. And then I believe there is also, if we come over here, a nice little workout area, which is pretty cool as well. And you can use, actually, I don't know, can you use these? But you can use the actual workout area over at the beach to pump up your stats a little bit, such as your endurance, your strength, or more. So I definitely recommend coming down to the beach and maybe working out a little bit over there before some fights. There is also a nice little medic area in here, of course, all for RP, which is pretty cool. But this is kind of the fight night area. They do host events here occasionally. I know the people who used to host it aren't really in town too much anymore, but there are definitely events that go on here and there for sure. Now, I would also mention the casino in this video, although it is not currently open, so unfortunately I can't really show it off to you guys at the moment. But if you do want to check out an earlier video of mine, we did go to the casino, and there are, I believe, blackjack and roulette there at the moment, and I believe the more games may be added down the line. So that is another thing to do. Of course, the Diamond Casino located right here, exactly where you think it would be, right at the actual Diamond Casino. And one of the last places we're going to be checking out where you can kind of go and have some fun is going to be at the Drift School. Now, this is honestly something really cool that was recently implemented and recently was used a lot more. I'll keep doing U-turns until we go into the right direction. Nice. But this was recently added in a little while ago, and it allows a couple players who own it or who manage it to basically come there, open up the gates, and allow players to come in, rent either imports or modified GTA cars that are meant for drifting, and go along the drift course. I'm guessing in the future they're going to be hosting events. Now, of course, you have to pay a deposit. You have to sign a little waiver, and then you have to pay, of course, the deposit fee, which I believe you get back if you return the car unscratched, as well as a fee per half hour or hour you rent the cars out. Now, I don't believe the drift school is open right now. Usually it is open daily at different times, but it is a really nice place to kind of come, chill out, do some drifting, and have some fun. I'll show you guys the course a little bit, but I believe it is locked. I don't believe anyone is running it right at this moment, but it is a nice little area, and it's for sure a fun place to do some RP and, of course, you know, chill out, listen to some nice music, and do some good old drift. And that is going to be pretty much it for some of the entertainment. Now, of course, most of the entertainment or most of the activities are hosted by players in game, and they happen all the time. Again, you can check the upcoming events channel in the JustRP Discord. Again, link is in the description. But now, before we end this video off, we're going to talk a little bit about the various dealerships. Now, of course, there is the PDM that I talked about earlier in town, where you can buy starter vehicles, as well as the luxury autos that we went by a little bit earlier, where you can finance pretty much any vehicle that is on GTA. I believe some do have a stock though, so some might be sold out when you go there. Now, the other dealerships on the server are Leo's New and Used, which is located up north. Honestly, it's a really fun dealership, and the guy who runs it is a lot of fun as well. Up here, you got Leo's New and Used, where you can buy used car sales right off the lot. You don't need any players there to buy it. You can just go up and buy them. You can also check them out in person, and of course, they're a little bit more modified vehicles since they are used car sales, which is also pretty nice. There is also a boat and a aircraft shops as well, or dealerships, and we'll go ahead to those real quick. So again, let's head over down to the harbor down here a little bit near La Spada. If we look on our map, it's located right here across from the La Spada restaurant. You have the various dealerships over here. So again, let's head over down to the boat dealerships or the aquatic dealerships, show you guys that, and head over to the airline ones / the aircraft ones, and then end it off over at Leo's New and Used. So again, heading down here, if we come over here, park up our nice little taxi, we can then go down here, and as you will see, there are an assortment of different vehicles, such as this little jet ski for 30,000. If we keep going on, there's of course better and better vehicles. This one's going for 45,000. Keep going on, there are quite a lot of different vehicles. You can buy 55,000 for the Sun Trap. There's again a bunch of different aquatic vehicles you are able to purchase. With, of course, I gotta of course show off the yacht and the submarine you're able to get, although of course they are very, very expensive. You can of course purchase a yacht as well for 320,000. You know, maybe one day we'll have one of those. And of course, if you're feeling really cool, you can purchase a freaking submarine for $1.2 million. Again, I want to hopefully get one of these one day, because I feel you can do some pretty awesome bank heist or heist plans in general with that thing. Definitely gonna have to get on that at some point in our JustRP experience. But let's head back to our car and head over to the airport, where we can check out the airport shop, where we can check out a bunch of different aircrafts and see their prices. Now I believe most of the prices are all set at the same. They might be moved at or changed in the future. I'm not exactly sure because they all seem to be the exact same price, so I'm not sure if these prices are completely final. But let's head over there and I'll at least show you what the shop is all about. And now that we are over at the wonderful Los Santos airport, we head over here into this hangar, and oh damn, look at that sunset, look at that damn sunset. So we head over into this hangar and see an assortment of different vehicles. Of course, I believe all of them are currently labeled at $5 million. I'm not sure if this will be changed by the time this video is out, or if it will be changed anytime soon, because again, they're all the same exact price. I'm guessing these will have eventually their prices changed, or at least I would hope so, since currently all of these aircraft are all available for $5 million each. But this is the area where you would go to, of course, buy aircrafts. Definitely pretty cool, but again, I'm hoping those prices get changed, so you know, you can get some cheaper aircrafts and such like that. Definitely would be pretty nice. And then of course, the last dealership we're going to be talking about in this video is of course Leo's new and used up on Route 68. So let's head up there and check it out before we call this the end of the video. Alrighty, so now that we're over on Route 68, you can pull up and check out Leo's new and used. Here of course, you can check out a bunch of used cars as we crash into one of them with our rented taxi. Nice. So you can go over to them, see the price, of course, it'll just hover above them. Pretty simple stuff, like the used car lot on many other servers. Pretty nice though. Able to check out different cars. You can also, if you go up to them and hit E, you can view the vehicle, check out all the stats about it. Of course, the name of the seller, which would be Leo, because I believe he buys all these cars and then sells them. Pretty nice. You can also, I think they put vehicle descriptions. I'm guessing they will do those on vehicles that are modded. Like this one might have a description. Maxed out. Yeah, see, boom, it says it's a maxed out GT. That's actually not a bad price at all. Or boom, if we go over to here, check it out, and you see there's nothing, what's it called? Nothing written. Whoops, opening up my shader settings, but it's pretty nice. Oh, actually, how much is this Sultan for? This Sultan is a local car, so we're not able to buy it. Nice. But I think that's going to be pretty much it for this video, and about it for this starter guide. Now again, hopefully you guys did enjoy this. There is of course a lot of stuff that is left out that is either hidden or criminal that I don't want to give away, but again, I will just say there is a lot of hidden stuff, a lot of progression based systems on the server, both for crim and as well as legal. So definitely, you know, get to it, try and figure it out either for yourselves, either question other people, you know, kind of get into your different groups of RP and just, you know, have some fun. Don't worry about grinding too much. If I'm being honest, I haven't really grinded on my main character at all, besides like maybe the first week of the server releasing. So kind of just enjoy your stuff. You know, if you build stuff over time, in my opinion, it will keep it a lot more entertaining for you than just grinding for 20 hours right off the bat and kind of getting what you want. I definitely recommend, you know, taking your time, enjoying it, getting into the RP, and, you know, just having a good time. But I think that is going to be about it for this video. If you do want to join the server or check it out, both the links to the Discord as well as the forums for JustRP are in the description below. It is of course on 5M, but either way, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and if you did or it helped you out, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.